Hi there, RJ Steinert from Open Learning Exchange. I'm going to show you the BeLL Apps Beta 2. Log in as myself. And I'm going to check out the cool new feature. We have the ability to add HTML and video content. Over in English 1, I have vid 5 assigned. So if we go over to the personal BeLL app, let's shut down the server first. Log in as myself. English level 1, vid 5, open it up.
What I want to do
And we have video content.
It's all the same pattern. We could probably...
We also have HTML content. Absolute value of 6.5 is 6.5. Check answer correct. Show solutions, cool. Now, it wasn't possible in our last release. That was because we were using PouchDB to store the resources. PouchDB cannot act as a server in the browser. There's experimental support for that in Chrome. The indie web is coming, hosting websites from your browser. But there's no particular way that we would able to make that accessible, specifically at the specific names we want. Window.createObjectURI. That doesn't allow us to actually control what URL things are assigned to. So we can't actually build a server out of a CouchDB or PouchDB object, from memory in the browser. So we're using a new mechanism. We're using app cache, and in order to do that, we have to compile a app cache manifest, a shopping list of items that the browser needs to download and store. We can see that if we go to, for example, we're now using app cache for the PDS. And we have a file parameter instead of a URL, a database, and a couch object. We actually have this thing. And so you actually can see it's almost like a read-only CouchDB is still there. Look, a response from Couch, but Couch is not on. Let's check out that process. Let's check out that manifest file. Let's turn Couch back on. How is this working exactly? Let's go to the BeLL, and there's this new button, compile apps and resources for syncing. So what this does is in JavaScript, we open a default manifest file, and we compile into it the apps database, the JSON that's from there, so a list of all the files that we find, and all of the resources. And it creates a new manifest file. We can, so this should be, yep, we can see it from CouchDB. This is my browser is now, app cache from my browser is now grabbing all the resources and all the apps. We can actually hook into that in JavaScript, and we will be doing that as soon as we get time. But it does it silently, and it's very persistent. We can actually change pages, and it continues. App cache continues to do its due diligence of downloading everything in that manifest file. Things can go a little slower though while it's happening. Either way, that's our syncing strategy right now. Is all devices get all resources and apps. This is great in situations where you have a ratio of students to devices where you have many more students than you have devices, which means the devices are probably going to have to be passed off to students at some point, maybe between periods. The strategy is you just get all materials onto those devices, as we are doing in the Ghana Reads program at the moment, which is working out pretty well. They only really sync once a week. Teachers make their create all their assignments at the week prior. They get synced up at the beginning of the week, and then they can, at any velocity they want, pass the devices around from student to student, and not have to worry about hooking into a server and waiting to download and sync, stuff like that. Second sync strategy now for the next big step is we do actually want to be able to have to maximize the disk usage on these tablets. So that might be the case that a teacher wants to assign a really large resource. In a situation where you have low availability of the server, or rather, if you just want to save battery power by turning the Wi-Fi off, you want to be able to actually put that, for example, a large movie on the device itself. So the strategy is going to be allowing members to have their own manifest files. And so when they log in, they can, if somebody was using it before, they can actually compile their own personal manifest file and use AppCache to trigger that download of only the resources that are assigned to them. So only the resources that they from the teams that are assigned that are and also the app dependencies as well. So we can determine the app dependencies according to which resources are assigned. So user logs in, they click sync, it only downloads the things that the user particularly needs, and then you can turn off the Wi-Fi, save battery, and view the video file that they may have downloaded. Third sync strategy, so that second sync strategy is something that we're going to do in the next beta. Third sync strategy we're thinking about builds on the second one that we're going to be building. It's where the server availability is high. Perhaps there's assignments that the teachers want the students to use in the classroom. Those don't necessarily need to be on the disk, especially if you don't care about battery life from Wi-Fi usage. So, but there are perhaps resources that they need to take home. So allowing the teacher to, when making an assignment, determine whether or not that assignment is going to be, the resource for that assignment is going to be stored on the tablet, on the device itself, or on the server. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the issue queue for the BeLL apps. And I work 9 to 5. If you ask me a question, I'll probably see it right away. And if you're thinking about installing this stuff, have any problems whatsoever, want to ask me any questions, feel free to do it. I can get back to you pretty quickly. I'll see you around. Bye now.